Hello and welcome to the Caught Off Guard podcast. I am so excited to be here. I'm here with Donna Mihaylova-Johnson, and if you guys don't know who she is, you are about to get to know, because she is an absolute fantastic boss babes. She is a founder of Nailed It, and you guys have probably seen this all over Instagram. It is literally millennial pink perfection. You see the walls with the floral decoration, and every it girl of London and now LA is in there on a regular basis. And I really wanted to bring Donna in because I think she's such an inspo. I do go to your store regularly to get my nails done, and it's just interesting to find out how you've kind of built this and like what you're doing. I feel like you've really changed the game a lot. So I'm excited to see you.
Yes, me too.
Thank you for coming. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself? Because I don't think everyone will know who you are, because you're actually a little bit secret. There's not a lot online about Donna.
Well, basically I started Nailed It about 4 years ago, and I started off with like a really small location in Battersea. So that's where I grew up. I went to school around there, and it was kind of like a gap in the market. I found that I was kind of going to nail shops. They were either really cheap and cheerful, and you were kind of worried, you know, why am I getting a manicure for £10? Is this sterilized? Are these products real? Does this person know what they're doing?
Yeah.
And then you were on the other scale of stuff where you'd have to go to like a hotel spa and spend like an hour having a manicure, and it'll be £100. So I just found that it needed something, you know, in between. So I started that off. Before that, I was actually in fashion. So I was doing styling. So wardrobe styling. So that was kind of fun, but it was very unreliable. So I think that's why I started up the business.
So I was reading that you went to London College of Fashion and you studied merchandising. You graduated with honours. Yes. And so between graduating and starting your company, you're working in wardrobe styling.
Yeah. So
was that self-employed though as well?
Yeah.
So you always knew you were going to be self-employed?
Always. So I had like part-time retail jobs, as everybody does, because you do need some kind of, you know, reliable income. So I was in like your department stores like Harrods, Selfridges. I was in some little independent boutiques and things like that while I was studying. And then when I finished, I started up my own company. So I had a little website with my little business cards and stuff, and I'd stop people in shops and be like, oh, I'm a stylist, use me, and stuff like that. So it kind of, I feel that I'm quite an opportunist. So if I see an opportunity, I kind of take it.
Yeah.
And I did actually do more men's wardrobes than I did women's. I kind of had a passion for like kind of boys swag. So it's kind of a big turnaround to go from doing boys wardrobes and dressing kind of boys in like cool trainers and hoodies to like a completely pink world where we get like one man a year for a pedicure.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, Nailed It is massive. You started off with one store, but in 4 years you now have nine, and you're actually like international and global.
We're franchising now. So I started Nailed It on my own 4 years ago with a little location, and literally from the day I opened I had a queue, and it was a tiny kind of 2 pedicure 2 manicure section. I had a wall of like 50 nail polishes, and I thought I was balling. I thought like my game's strong.
Did you invest in all those nail polishes yourself?
Yeah. Like we've never had investors. We've never had like loaned money from the bank or anything. I'm a strong believer in like kind of, if you invest your own money in something, you're going to put much more love in it, and because the risk is much higher than if you're lending or if you're using someone else's cash kind of thing. And then within 6 months, I started looking for a bigger location in the same neighborhood, because my clientele was based there. So then we moved onto the high street. So we've got like really, really prime locations.
Yes, you are in the heart of central London.
Yeah,
the majority of the time. Yeah.
And we had to open in those locations because of influencers. Because where we were before, we were not necessarily on the wrong side of the river, but we were too far from the majority of girls that were very central.
I find it quite scary how fast you've grown. Is this what you planned or what you expected?
Never. Nailed It wasn't like pink and flowery and all that from the beginning. At the beginning, it was actually really white and red. And then one day I was just like, this is just not working for me. Like, it needs to be girly. Like, you need you need girls to go in and be like, oh, this is cute. Like, you want to bring your daughter.
Yeah.
You want to bring your mum. So we kind of transitioned then, and then we started getting a little bit more grey, more pink. Most recent salons, we added like the Instagram spots. So we had the bathtub in Marylebone.
And a phone box as well.
The phone box, so iconic. Because we keep it quite British. We are a British brand. We classify ourselves like a proper nail bar. So we're quite proud to be British.
And I remember that your launch was, I mean, let's not get into the drama, but Khloe Kardashian came to the launch of the new nail bar in LA, and that was like the day after the Tristan situation. And what I thought, one was, Khloe, you're an actual boss, like, babe. Like, some people will be crying in their bed. She's like, I'm on job.
She's like, I'm getting paid.
Like, and I also felt like it was actually even extra promo, because you didn't obviously you couldn't plan for that to happen.
I think like people kind of want to see people down, but I think now we're in a world where girls support girls.
Oh yeah.
So I think everyone was kind of clapping for her and was like, whatever.
I was happy to see her out and about. Like, do you get your money?
Find a new one.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Amen.
When you're ready. Yes, I'm here for that. Okay, so I'm going to do this section. We have it. It's called the Icebreaker, but we call it the Ice Shaker. And I'm going to ask you some questions that might rattle you.
Okay.
Just a little bit. So tell us something that you do that no one knows that you do.
Wow. What do I do that no one knows that I do?
A secret. We want to get deep and personal.
Well, I do rap in the morning when I do my makeup. Yeah. Gangster rap, Drake. Yeah.
As you're doing it, you're like...
Yeah.
Do you want to give us some lyrics?
No.
Okay, right, okay. You won't be rapping for us on Caught Off Guard podcast?
But I do in the morning. Especially like if I've got a long day ahead of me and I feel like a little bit down, I'm just like, I need a hype man. And I find Drake's my hype man.
Oh, imagine.
And then I'm like, put my money in the grave and all this stuff.
Woo, we got a little lyric. Okay,
but
I
just
love
feel
that.
Like sometimes you need something that's gonna like get you in the mood.
I totally know what you mean. Like, get your energy up and get you ready for the day, because I'm sure your days are kind of crazy.
Yeah, because they are. Like, I've got a little girl, so my mornings start quite early, so as you know.
I know what it's like having a 3-year-old and like being on a hustle as well, because I also want girls to know, like, you can do both. Like, you can be out here being fabulous in Fendi, running a business, and also have a baby.
Yeah, you can. I think in the world now you can. Like, but you also do need support. I think when people really struggle is if you're, let's say you're on your own. And when I say on your own, I don't mean you're a single mum because you don't have a partner, but you have your mum, your dad, your sisters, your cousins.
Support systems.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you have that kind of support system, I don't classify you on your own. I think it's difficult when you're on your own. Then you haven't got someone to look after your kid or whatever, and then it's a little bit more of a struggle. But I am quite lucky. I've got a sister and my mum, and I'm married and stuff like that. So I do have a support system, but I am very do it for you.
Okay, and then if you could only wear one outfit for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, so it would be So Kate shoes, even though they're the worst to walk in.
So uncomfortable.
But don't they look good in a picture?
Yeah, but then you can't move.
I know. My husband says that. He's like, no one's looking at your shoes. Everyone's looking at your miserable face because like you can't walk in those shoes.
Yes.
But it's so true.
That should be a tweetable. Everyone's looking at your miserable face, not your shoes.
For the first 30 minutes, you're like, I'm feeling myself. And then after that, you're like, oh, I just want to kill myself. Give me slides. And then I'd probably have like a midi. I love a midi dress.
Okay.
A tight midi and a Balmain blazer. I always have one of these blazers.
Oh yeah, she's got one on today. We've got matching. Yeah,
they're
lovely.
We love these.
Have you got them in like every colour?
Not every colour, but a fair.
Have you got the baby blue and the baby pink?
Yeah, I've got the baby pink because that's proper nailed it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that was in my promo like pictures on my website, like arms crossed, like bossy.
I feel like you're really into branding and like how stuff looks, but probably because you were into merchandising.
Yeah. I am quite into branding and I believe in the strength of the brand.
Well, it's really worked because I feel like visually Nailed It is very well recognized as a physical location to go and get your nails done.
Yeah.
And actually I think what's really interesting is that like so many of us, let's be real, like we'll go to our local maybe Asian nail shop and like it's £20, you get an infill, you get an acrylic, you're not expecting too much. But you go in, you get it and you're out. And you know what you're getting. So for you to kind of come in and like switch up what a lot of us do quite easily was quite interesting. Did you not feel like it was a bit of a risk?
Majorly. The risk is because, as you said, these kind of nail shops have devalued the game. So they've devalued nails. So nails was, before Nailed It, looked at as a very cheap treat. It was on every corner, as you said, 20 quid for an infill. Everybody could just have it done. But what the issue was is you wasn't getting quality. You were getting something to just look good on a surface. So that's what we wanted to change. You know, you get what you pay for in any aspect of life. In a restaurant or a blazer or whatever, you buy a blazer for 20 quid, you buy a blazer for 200 quid. It's completely different. The craftsmanship, the material, whatever. Yeah. I went to many nail shops, and every nail would be different, and you would be at fault. Always you'd go, oh, this one's like bent, and she'd be like, no, your nail's like that, and you're like, no, like
it's the way you've done
it. Yeah. Or like, this one isn't painted properly. Yeah, but you were moving, and it would always be an excuse. But as you said, your expectations are so little
that you just kind of shrug your shoulder and like,
whatever. I paid 20 quid, and I didn't want girls to feel like that. I'd rather you spend 40 quid and they last you 8 weeks, and you're loving them, and you're showing them to your friends, and you're talking with your hands because you want all your friends to see your nails, then spend 20 quid and you're like, oh, they're just going to look good for tonight. Don't worry, I'll get them done again. I'm not classifying everybody the same. I'm not saying that we're the best in the world, but we do pride ourselves. And I'm very, very on people's backs of like, people need to leave happy. And I'm very emotionally attached to my brand.
For sure. And I think that's so essential to actually have a brand that has longevity, is when you really see that a founder cares about what a customer is going to get at the end of the day, which is why, again, you have 9 stores. Yeah. You're in Dubai as well, or you're going to be in Dubai?
We're going to. So we sold a franchise in Dubai and Qatar.
Tell me how you came about doing that and thinking that that would be a good way for you to build your business further.
When I started opening more than, 1 or 2 or 3, it's very difficult to spread yourselves amongst the stores and have that kind of presence. Obviously, when I had one salon and I was there all the time, I'm kind of on top of the ball. I only had 8 girls working for me. It's a lot easier to
8 girls is a lot of girls to manage.
It is. But now I have like 36. So it's a lot of girls. And when you're spreading yourself thin, it's going to happen. It's not, you can't have that same quality control. So we kind of reached a number of salons, because I do it with my sister. She jumped on board on my second salon. She was like kind of left her career in finance.
She was an accountant, right?
Yeah, she was an accountant.
Shout out to the accountants out there, because that's what I used to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to be in accounting and finance.
Yeah, so she was, she was great at it. She made really good money in it, but she was like, I have no love for it. I don't enjoy going to work, and I think that's something that, no one's really gonna love their job, but you need a little bit of something that's gonna give you drive and happiness. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to franchise. So it's a way of us growing internationally, but selling an individual salon to somebody that's going to love that salon the way I love Nailed It here. Yeah. We don't want to sell to someone that just wants to buy it to say that they're part of it. We want to sell it to someone that's actually going to love it and be proud that they own it, and go in and care when someone complains, or care when someone gives them advice. So that's the key to us. And we're very girl feminist.
Girl bosses. But you might sell a franchise to,
of course,
a guy. And we're not going to get into franchising because we don't have enough time for that. But it's basically a model where someone buys a brand from you, or they buy almost like a license to the name. A license,
a trade as the name.
To the name. And then, but they invest in the space themselves. And then I think it's like a revenue share. But, Google search franchising at some point in time. Right. So I want to go into a section where we talk more about your growing up, because I can clearly see you're very driven, you're very successful, you seem family orientated, but let's go into it. So what was it like for you growing up, and where did you grow up?
So I was born in Bulgaria. So both my parents are Bulgarian, and we came here when I was 5. So I studied here. Just me and my sister.
Could you speak English when you came?
No.
There's something about immigrants, like you come and you have to hustle like in a way that is very different. Like the kids are coming here, like your dad's like, go to school, and you're like, but I can't even speak the language.
They're like, just go to school.
Like, go to school.
You'll learn.
You have to just learn, right?
Yeah. No, you have to. I had my first job when I was 15. And my dad's a little bit more of a hustler than my mum. My mum's a little bit old school, so she's kind of like cooking,
had the house on lock.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's nice to have a mum who has the house on lock.
Yeah.
Like, it is a good thing, and it really does make a difference for the children.
Yeah.
And also, if a hubby's out working, you need someone who's got something in control, right?
Of course. And then my dad was like, right, you're 15, so you can get a Saturday job. So option A is you get a Saturday job and I double your wages, or option B is you don't have a job and you don't get any money from me. So I was like, so I was like, this is great. So I got a little job. It was like 40 quid a day. He'd double it. I get 80 quid a day. I was like, this is a great hustle.
Yeah. Once you're tall enough to like hit the dishes, you'll wash up. Like you'll do all the stuff. Work in the house, work out the house.
Yeah.
I'm ready
and I think
for
it's
that.
great for them as people, boys or girls. It's irrelevant.
I had to start working from like 11, 12. I was doing like paper rounds and knocking on people's doors just because there was no money. So mama said, if you want money, go out and work.
But isn't it great though?
It was very illegal though. I think it was very illegal. I appreciate it now. So yeah, okay. What area did you grow up in?
Battersea.
Oh,
yeah,
I
so
grew
I've
up in
always
Battersea
been in
as
South.
well.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
I was born in, do you know, is Highview Primary School still there?
Oh, yeah.
That was the primary school I went to. And I lived near Winstanley Estate.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. It's
So
kind of
solid.
bad. So solid crew were from there, yeah. So I was around there, but I didn't live in Winstanley Estate. But like about 10 minutes down the road from it. So yeah, I spend a lot of my time. That's why I always call myself like a South London girl.
Yeah, I'm
for
a South
life.
London girl.
There's so many South London. Well, you're the second South London girl we have.
Really?
Oh no, and Emma is also from Streatham. So clearly South
London.
Londoners for life. There's something in the water down
Definitely.
south that makes us like fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Okay, love that. So do you think that coming from the background you've come from and experiencing the things you experience, what do you think it's taught you?
I've always liked nice things, right?
I love
I'm a nice thing girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love this. Oh, can we talk about this? Because
Yeah,
I find that liking stuff is a really good driver. Like if you want expensive-ish, you like nice shoes and you like nice bags and nice cars, you're going to have to get money to do it.
Yeah. But I also feel we're in a bit of a generation where people are going the wrong way of getting money to get it.
Right.
Right?
Talk about it, girl. Talk about it. Let me hear.
Right. Listen, women are powerful, right?
Yeah.
I'm in full support of that Beyonce kind of girls around the world, whatever. And I think we've kind of gotten a stage where girls are a little bit like, if you can't beat them, join them, right? And when I speak about that, we have to be very careful with how much we speak about this. But I think women need to drive themselves more to work for money.
Yes.
In a kind of in a hustle of a business form than hustling a guy.
Agreed.
Right. And that is something that I do frown upon. There's not much that I do frown upon, and I'm very supportive of anyone that's got a dream and wants to do something, but I'm not in support of that. And I never think, right, for example, I always wanted a Birkin bag, right? And it's one of those things that are really, really overpriced, right? And Hermes have nailed it with a way to make you want it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
In the back of that stockroom, my friend, there is hundreds of Birkins. But you go there, she's going to be like, oh, we haven't got any. They're made for 15 hours in the south of France. And these people are slaving to do this, and the thread comes from here, whatever. And they sell you this dream.
Yeah,
but really and truly, there's hundreds of them. They're ridiculously overpriced. And when you see a girl holding one, you're thinking, oh my God, she's got Birkin, right? And it's all down to branding. That's something that we spoke about earlier, right? If you buy that bag with money that you have worked hard for, that bag is going to be cherished like no tomorrow. You're going to put it back in the packaging. You're going to wipe it down at night. When you bring it out, you're going to love it, right?
I could tell you love your bags.
Oh, I love my bag. But if you get that gifted by a male, you're not going to cherish it like that, because you're going to think another male's going to buy me that bag, and another one, and another one. You're always going to want more because you haven't worked for it, right? So without saying too much, that's something that I think this generation is a little bit upsetting.
Yeah, I can understand that. In the same breath, I do feel like for some girls, like their hustle is being able to hustle a guy. Like it's also a skill.
Oh my God.
And so there's this thing, right, that I say that some people are born with beauty, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't have brains. Or some have beauty and brains, but I find it rare. So if you have beauty and you have the ability to get what you need out of a guy, like your job is to get it from them, because you only have it for a very short window, because life is very long and eventually you get haggard and crusty.
And they do replace, like...
Yeah, they do replace. So for some of them, that might be their only form of ingenuity. And then for others who do not have the privilege of excess beauty, we need to think of alternative things, because we can try...
We've got great beauty.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, you know, like yes, we've got great beauty, of course.
But I know where you're going with
this. You know,
this.
come on, there are then the girls that are like,
limits.
wow, and then they like, who are like and don't get twisted, we're wow inside and out.
Yeah.
But girls, you know, guys are just gonna drop dead for them, right? There are some like that. But then there are the rest of us who I say, like, we have to, I'm on the same thread as you, that we have to think of other ways to be
but don't you feel
ingenious.
great when you go, like, let's say you go shopping and you like a pair of shoes and you're like, yeah, I'll take them, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine liking those shoes, trying them on, taking 10 pictures, a video, sending them to your husband, going, please, can I have them? Please, can you buy them? Right.
Begging.
Do you see what I mean?
Dead.
And then, like, please, and then you think, oh, I've got to work for this tonight. In whatever form you've got to work for this, right? For these
Working
shoes.
girl.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't want the shoes.
Would you sell your pussy for some shoes?
Yeah, like, no, I'm not involved.
Like, no,
all.
it's
not
so
even
true.
A little bit. Not even a little bit. I'm just buying the shoes and I'm gone.
This is a modern day phenomenon. And I know that, like, it's something that we're seeing with, like, the younger girls kind of waiting for someone to give them something. And actually, I had a model on, and she did share this with me, that some girls are in positions now that they don't have any money of their own. So they're having to, you know, do some certain things and be on certain trips and be hustled by promoters just to be able to live and like work well. And I'm like, you got to have your own backup at some point in time. You need to protect yourself.
And I think, like, though, you know, listen, there's girls that do stuff like that for handbags and for shoes and stuff like that, and there's girls that do stuff like that and set up their lives, and that's not their long-term plan.
Yeah.
You know, they're in, you know, let's say, for example, you're a photographer. Your dream is to be a photographer. You meet a guy, and if you're dumb, you're going to ask him for a Birkin bag. If you're clever, you're going to ask him for a camera.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? A laptop, a light, things like that, because, you know, you're trying
hustle
to
wisely.
Yeah.
Sugar baby wisely.
Yeah.
Like, get the money and invest it. Don't just buy a bag. You can't pay a mortgage with a bag.
No.
I tell people that all the time. Like, bags and shoes, you can't
They're
eat
great
them.
fun for now, but there's always something else you're going to want.
Yes.
The hustle's real out there.
Oh, dear.
So sometimes we need to just thank God.
Yeah, it's true. Like, have your own. We're down for that. Okay.
Like, yeah.
So, how did studying fashion merchandising at university prepare you for where you are now?
Didn't at all. Complete waste of time. I'm just going to be real. I'm not going
no,
to sit here
do you
and
know
lie.
why I like this? Because there's this debate about, is university valuable or not, right? And it does depend on what course you do. You felt like it didn't help you at all.
Well, no, because I didn't do anything to do with merchandising now. Do you see what I mean? And I did kind of use it as a social thing. So I was just like kind of socializing and doing
connecting with
people. Connecting with people. And listen, there's only so much you can learn from a book or from a teacher. That person's paid there to stand up in front of a classroom and teach you. You're only going to learn what you want to learn, and the rest is in you, what God gave you. Do you see what I mean? If you're like, there's people that are going to sit there and write every word down and have a pen and paper and take it really seriously, whatever. And then there's going to be people that are going to sit there and think, oh, you're talking a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, I know better than you. There's so many different people. And sometimes the person that thinks they're talking a lot of rubbish actually really succeed. And the person that spent the whole 3 years writing down the notes, don't do anything.
Yeah.
So
that happens a lot.
Yeah, it does happen a lot. And I'm not saying don't go to school, guys. Like, go to school. You need to go to school. You need to educate your mind. But you're not going to learn so much from books. It's life experiences that teach you stuff, like day-to-day interaction, knowledge, things like that teach people what they need to know.
And bearing in mind that university is so expensive nowadays, it's a risky way to waste your money. But like, I'm so for education. I did the accounting and finance, and actually I started studying international fashion marketing when I first went to uni. And then I was like, this is a waste of money. This is a dead course. It's not going to do anything for me. And then I switched to accounting because I wanted something a bit more practical that I could use in life. And I like money. And then I really found it valuable, but never, ever, ever applied anything that I learned in accounting to any of the careers that I had. But I do feel like there's certain skills that I picked up that I use till today.
But it's completely different. Like, you know, when you ask young children, like, what do you want to be? I don't think a lot of people end up being what they think they wanted to be.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what I would have said then.
No, I feel as well that with life, it kind of goes through peaks and troughs. You can be someone different every 5 or 10 years if you want to be. Yeah. Like, if you want to be a neuro... Yeah,
sometimes
you can
I wake
be.
Up and I'm not tolerating this no more. And then, do you know what I mean? Or whatever. And I think then I was really into, like, making clothes. But, like, I didn't have the patience for pattern cutting.
That's why I left my first course, like with international fashion marketing. I was like, I hate this like process of making stuff, like this pattern cutting and cutting this fabric up.
Well,
It's
I'm going to
boring.
tell you guys a secret now.
Tell us the
I've never
secret.
told anyone this.
We
I'm
need to
gonna
know.
I want to tell you the secret, right? So basically, when you finish your end of year course, you do a fashion show, right? Of like 2 final garments, right? So you spend the first 3 years learning how to pattern cut, how to merchandise, how to draw on a computer, blah, blah, blah. And then they judge you at the end on these final 2 things. So you draw up whatever it may be, like let's say 2 denim dresses, whatever. I done these bright green like crop top and shorts and a dress with these long sleeves with butterflies all over them, whatever. It was the most horrific thing, but at the time I thought it was great.
Sounds very Mariah Carey.
Right. Yeah.
With the butterflies.
So the problem is, well, not the problem, the silly thing of the university is they let you make them in your own time. So I didn't want to waste my own time making them. So I went to Peckham to this dressmaker and I gave her my drawings and the material and I said to her, make these dresses for me and I'll pay you. So she made the dresses. So I went to uni the next day. When my teacher walked in, I was sewing on the butterflies onto these dresses I'd made the night before.
Oh my gosh, you finessed the teacher.
So I passed with like flying colours. I think I actually won like the best of the best. I didn't even tell my mum and my dad.
She's a cheat, but no.
You know,
It's
fake
not
it till
cheat.
you make it.
No, it's called ingenuity.
Listen,
so why are you wasting your time?
Why? This is a prime example of work smart, not hard. Amen.
I love this. I love this.
See? It was like 40 quid or something as well. It wasn't even like I had to part with £1,000. It was like 40 quid. Some woman she was like, I'll stitch it up quickly.
It's fine. You can go shopping with your bracket.
I know. And I remember the teacher, she was like, this is really well done. You've done really well. You've really put in the work. I was like, I know, miss, right?
But in reality, for every fashion house, Mr. Dior himself was not sewing. No. Right? You get ateliers to actually do the sewing for you.
Thank you for justifying my cheating.
Well, not because it's not cheating. It's just thinking smart. Like, if you can pay someone to do it who's more skilled at sewing than you, why would you be there making mistakes?
With one like short arm and one long arm
What's
and
the
embarrassing
point?
myself in front of my mum?
Of course not.
My mum was proud. She was like front row, like, yeah. That's my girl.
I love that. That is called the real hustle. Okay. All right. So I want us to chat a little bit more businessy for a little bit. And then I really want to go into some of the personal sides about you. Because I was saying that I feel like you're like hard on the outside, but like really, really soft on the inside. So I'm going to like try and get into that gooey center of you. But obviously you use a lot of social media for building your business. Yeah. How has Instagram really influenced and helped you do that?
I thought Instagram was quite a good platform. Before that, what did people really used to do? Used to flyer, pay for advertisement in magazines, and we don't really look at that. Someone puts a flyer on your car, it's more frustrating than something to look at. You kind of like throw it off, or you get junk mail in the
nowadays
post or whatever.
Anyway.
So I felt it was quite a good platform, and we really utilized on that by inviting girls in, because you know, you invite them in for an experience, they're getting something. You've got to understand that we are quite expensive. So as much as we target every woman, we're not accessible to every woman every week. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So a mani-pedi gel with 2 takeoffs is £100 with us.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. So when we invite influencers in, they're quite happy because they're like, let me see what this is actually about. Because, you know, not everybody wants to spend that money, but they still want the experience. So that kind of really helped us because we're kind of gifting it to them. Yeah. And they were gifting us with supporting us. And that's something that I'm so thankful to a majority of influencers, bloggers, including yourself, for believing in us and coming and, you know, also being quite real with me. You know, like they'd come and they'd say, Donna, you know what, this was great, but however, this wasn't. Do you see what I mean? And that's what I really love about girls. Change that. You know, just because one person said it doesn't mean I'm going to change it, but I want to hear it. And that's the relationship I've built with girls that I've met through business. Be real with me, because if you don't tell me, I'm not going to know. So that's really, really helped me. And then, you know, people's followings, they know that you're not going to promote something that you don't actually like.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? If my girl's done you a set of nails, you're not going to slander me, but you're going to message me directly. You're going to say, Donna, you know what? This nail wasn't really shaped that well, blah, blah, blah. This wasn't really that good. We'd rectify it. You'd come again. And then when you're happy, you'll post about it.
Yeah.
Then your following will be like, right, you know, just been, she loves it. She said this and this was great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a go. And that's what I love. I love that about girls supporting girls.
Yeah. And even as an influencer, I have to be really, really careful about who or what I promote, because there are times where I've mentioned a brand or I've gone for a service, and then I know people that follow me go. Yeah. And then like if they have a problem, they'll be like, you promoted this brand and something went wrong. And I almost feel so guilty in myself. Like I cannot risk like my rep on something that isn't going to be good for people. I even get emails, like even till now, when people have a problem with Fashion Nova, they CC me in an email that they send to customer services, like I work for Fashion Nova. I'm like, I don't work for Fashion Nova.
And all of this is, you know, we're human. Like clothes are made by humans. Nails are done by humans.
There's an element of error. Yes.
You have to allow space for error. But I think that the key is with people that when they're not happy is to not slander, to not review, to not spread the word. It's just to contact the company directly and just say, you know what, this dress, the zip done. If they then decide, well, tough luck, then you have every right to be, you know, unhappy or whatever. But if they rectify it, they've understood that they've made a mistake and they've changed it. Move on.
Do you think that branding and social media is essential for any brand that's coming out nowadays?
Yes. I think you know what? So social media can be used in a really smart way, and you have to keep people entertained with the way you post. You know, if our page was just nails after nails after nails after nails, people are not going to be interested in it because there's only so many pictures of nails that you want. So I try and keep, you know, the interior of the shop or videos of my personal life a little bit. So I've only personally come on Instagram in March this year. Yeah. So before that, I never had any social media.
Let's talk about this. Why? So I feel like you were like the secret face behind Nailed It, and sorry, you were the secret face behind the brand, and even when I went in, I didn't know who you were or whatever, and you were so friendly and so warm, and we talked about our daughters like straight away. It was like, oh wow, there's a person, and that instantly made me feel like even more connected. Yeah. Whereas you didn't necessarily show that. Was there a reason why?
Yeah. So initially, I find that I'm a little bit like Marmite. You either really like me or you don't. But then again, like as I've grown with the company, people say that I'm not really like that. I am actually quite likable, and people do like the fact that I'm quite real. So I didn't want people to base Nailed It on me. So I didn't want them to be like, oh, that's Donna's nail bar. I wanted it to be Nailed It. So I wanted you to look at it like that. But then I found that because it was growing so quickly, people thought it was a board of investors in suits that were men that own this brand. And it kind of upset me because I was like, no, it's not. It's me. Do you know what I mean? It's me. I'm a mum. Like, I own this. Like, I built this. And I've also spoken to a couple of my friends, and I'm actually really good friends with Alex, who owns Elan, the floral cafe. Okay. So our brands kind of complement each other quite well. And she said to me, you really need to show your face. You really need to show people that you're young, that you're a mum, that you started this you're on your own. Like, girls love that. Yeah, girls will love to kind of hear your story, you know, reach out to you. And I started off like, you know, posting small bits and pieces or whatever. And I do get quite a lot of messages, and I get really kind messages sent to me that I inspire them or that I'm motivating and stuff like that. And I think that's what I like about having social media. Before I was quite scared of it. I was like, oh, it just occupies your time.
It can be very scary though, like to put yourself out there. And I do want to encourage people to put themselves out there, but in a way that feels the most natural and right and honest to yourself versus trying to be like everybody else. Someone, you can't do that. You just have to do you. And if you feel like you need to pull back at times, pull back. It's fine. Yeah.
Like, so I think that's kind of why I showed my face.
So I want to find out about failures, right? Have you, one of my favorite sentences is fail fast. I love failure. I say feel the fear and do it anyway. That's like a quote from Suzanne Jeffers. I always feel like failure is what brings like amazingness like afterwards. Have you had any failures? What were they? And what do you feel like you've learned from them?
I've had loads of failures. So Nailed It wasn't my first business as in business wise. So when I done styling, then my sister and her husband opened up a kiddies hairdressers. So it was called Happy Faces. And had these beautiful little cars that kids would sit in. It had like Jungle Book murals. We'd listen to Peppa Pig all day. Kids would come and sit in these cars, have their hair cut, whatever. So that was kind of the first business that we started. It done well, but it wasn't going to make us rich. It didn't open more salons. It was kind of like, we had 2 salons. They've done all right. It wasn't for us. I can't really say it was a failure, but it was a lesson because we kind of saw, well, people are going to bring their kid here the first time, then they're just going to go to the hairdresser that they go with because it's an inconvenience. And like dragging a kid around London, you know what it's like.
Yeah,
it is an inconvenience. Sure. You just want it quick and done. And then I had a little sweet shop. The
random,
proper random.
Yeah,
like jars and stuff, and that lasted about 6 months because people didn't want to give sweets to their kids in mass quantity, so they were coming in and buying like £1 worth of sweets. And then I had a secondhand designer shop. So you'd buy designer stuff, then you didn't want it, you'd bring it to me, I'd sell it for you, we'd go 50-50. And that was actually the first Nailed It location because that wasn't making great money, but I still had a lease on that shop. Oh. So that's why I kind of opened Nailed It, because I was like, it was an overnight thing. Yeah. Like I kind of spoke with my friend and I was like, this is just not working for me. Like we're not making no money. She was running the shop for me. I was doing styling in people's houses. It was just a mess. And I was taking home like £2,000 a month. I could get that working in Harrods on a shop floor without worrying, like stress free. And I was like, we're going to turn this into a nail shop. She was like, when? I was like, tomorrow. She was like, what do you mean tomorrow?
Do you know what? This is the definition of the pivot, like where you have to see something isn't quite working and you just go switch. Like, you don't have to do everything and be suffering for like 10 years.
Yeah. You're like, oh, in September and October. Like, I think the British nation don't take risk. Like as like humans here, they don't like risk.
No. I love that.
And I think sometimes you just need to take risks. So we literally like packed up everyone's shit, called them the next day. We're like, you need to come get your stuff because we're closing on Friday. And then the following Monday, we'd repainted it, put the pedicure chairs in, started employing people. Like it was deep. Yeah.
I think you're kind of crazy, but I kind of love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think I am too.
Because sometimes you just got to do stuff that's mad.
Because it could have gone terribly wrong.
Yeah. It could have, but then look at it today.
You see?
I find that absolutely hilarious, but usually it takes some kind of intense moves to make something happen. And bearing in mind, you did the kiddies shop, then the sweet shop. Now we're selling bags. Now we're doing nails.
Yeah.
Okay. But along the journey, all of it was a learning.
Because a lot of people would have done the kiddies thing and gone, oh, forget it. I'm just going to get a job with someone else. Do you know what I mean? And just given up.
It was just never an option for you.
You know, you just can't. I think if you've got it in you, you're not going to give up.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
And what kind of challenges have you faced along the way? Like, give me a big challenge that might be, you know, not embarrassing, but I know that business is hard. You must have had some kind of challenge.
Business is hard, and especially when you own a brand and like you've got to think everything comes from me. So the decor, the design, the service names, the polishes we use, like everything is me. So I don't have like anyone that works with me that designs the layouts or whatever. So I'm very emotionally attached and I take it very personally. So at the beginning, I used to really struggle with complaints. Like I used to get really arsey and like really get my shoulders up if someone would complain, because I'd be like, why are you complaining? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why people were complaining. I couldn't understand how to deal with it, because the best way to say it is I was emotionally attached to it. I treated it like it was my baby. Instead of understanding that you're dealing with the general public. Not everyone is your person. That's why, like, you don't have a million friends. You probably have like a handful of friends that you generally get along with and they're your people.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? Then you have another 5 that are okay. Then you have another 5 that you'd say hi in the street. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Not every person, like, you know, we have a mad footfall. Like each salon probably gets 150 people a day. And I can't, every person's not going to like me. Every person's not going to like that manicure. Every person's not going to be happy with the colour.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that. So I had to really like step back, and I don't deal with any complaints. Like, even if I'm in the salon.
Okay.
And someone wants to complain about something, they go to the manager. If the manager can't deal with it, then they come to me.
I need to put a barrier up against me because it doesn't work for me.
Some things are not for everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree.
People work in customer service. Can you imagine all day answering a phone? For example, let's say Harrods head office, customer service, and every person is complaining.
Yeah.
I'd want to kill myself. But there's people that are really calm.
And they can handle it.
Don't worry, madam. You know?
Like, I had to do this actually in my business, where I've actually got 2 layers now. But between me and some clients, because I realized I just can't take this back and forth. It was affecting me. So I said, you know what? No, Irini is on our team. I was like, you come in because she's calm. My sister Maureen, they're calm. They can handle it and be all sweet girl. Me, I would respond with no.
Yeah,
like
and I'm a keyboard warrior, and then I want to be rude. And, do you know what I mean?
Just like,
and
what?
You have to know your weakness.
It's true.
You're never gonna, there's certain things in life you can change, and there's certain things that you have to accept about yourself and other people. Do you see what I mean? Like, you know what it's like in a marriage.
Yes.
Right? You love your husband 99.9%, but that 1%.
Let's say 98%, because sometimes
maybe 89.
He's a bit jarring.
Maybe 72, maybe 45. I don't know, but like, do you know what I mean? It all depends on what day it is. But you have to understand that certain things that you don't like about him or your friends or whatever can change, but certain things, that's him, that's her.
It's true.
Do you see what I mean?
Agreed.
And I just had to understand that for myself and just be like, you know what? Someone needs to be employed for this, and it's great. Now it's great. Like, I don't even know if people complain sometimes. Do you see what I mean?
You're in your happy bliss.
Yeah. I'm just like, as far as I'm concerned, we're a complaint-free zone.
I love that. Okay, so let's get into your personal life. I want to know what your daily routine looks like. So you have a daughter.
Yeah.
You run the business day to day, but not really, because you've installed a really good team.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah.
So until about a year now, I've really stepped back, and so has my sister. So we have a really good team. We have managers. We have really good staff. A lot of the staff that are my original staff that started the company with me, and they, I can go away and leave them, and I know
they know your business.
They're not going to turn people away. They're going to work hard. You know what I mean? And there's people that have come and left that are just not right for the brand. So that's allowed me to step back and have a little bit of a personal life and spend more time on the franchising. Franchising requires a lot of attention, so you've got to think like our franchise is all the way in LA. She needs our assistance. The time difference is different, so I need to allow time for that. Then Qatar, then Dubai, and then all of the other ones that are coming. But I get up in the morning. I sort Sophia out. She goes to nursery, so she is in full-time nursery, but it's great. So I'm really happy with that choice. I did have an option to have like a nanny look after or my mum, but I just felt that she needed other kids, and I felt that she's grown so much.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Nursery's so valuable. So sorry, you wake up, you take her to nursery.
Yeah, so I take her to nursery, then I have to have coffee. Oh my god, I'm like an addict.
Right.
Yeah? So an iced coffee, I can't drink hot coffee anymore. I don't know what's happened to me. So I have a coffee in the morning.
Starbucks or private?
Like Starbucks. A little. Okay. I think there's something in Starbucks though, but that can be debated off camera. I don't know, maybe like some kind of like addiction thing. But yeah,
probably some sugar, then some spice, something.
But it's good.
Yeah,
it does what it needs to be done. So then I go and check. Northcote Road is my closest salon, and that's my baby. That's my first one, and my friend manages that, so I like to have a little gossip with her in the morning. So
lovely.
I'll go on my laptop. I'll check up on all of the diaries, make sure that everything's moving smoothly. If anyone's phoned in sick, blah blah, things like that, and then I go through my emails. Once I've gone through my emails, then we kind of just check up on the salon, and then that could be the end of my day. That could be 12 o'clock. It could be 11 o'clock. It could be 2 o'clock.
The life. I need to get there. But I feel like you're quite organised though. That morning bit is structured.
Yeah, you've got to bang it out. Like that's my saying. Like you have to bang stuff out. I'm the most impatient person ever.
Right.
So I like my tolerance is very low. So like to work with me, you have to be on it. Like, don't ask me dumb questions because I can't deal.
I just hold on.
Can you relate? Can you relate?
I have to just look at the rest of my crew when I go like, I don't want any questions. I hate questions. I'm like, don't ask me a question. Or if I've answered this question once, I'm not answering it again. Remember,
why are we like this?
I don't know. It's not great, but we'll change.
But the girl, they're used to me now.
Yeah, of course.
Or I send out. We have a group chat in the salon. Yeah. If I'm in a bad mood, I just put bad mood group chat.
Okay.
And I come into the salon, no one speaks to me. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I walk in, and then I'll just look up, and then Kayla, my best friend, will be like, coffee, chocolate. I'm like, yeah, both please.
So you let your team know. I love that.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it's true.
Because at the beginning they couldn't understand me. They're like, you get really rude or you get really ratty, and I'm just like, this is me, babe. It's nothing personal.
Right, yeah.
But
I send a lot of apology texts after. I'm sorry that I was a bit.
I love you dearly. Let's go for lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, my days are like that. My days off, I do spend walking around shops. It doesn't mean I buy stuff. My husband's got to be watching this.
I don't know if I believe you, to be honest with you.
I don't always buy stuff.
Is that from 12 onwards? It's like shopping.
Oh my God. Or when I buy stuff, I hide the receipt. I take out the boxes.
Yeah.
And then I put the shoes in the cupboard. And then my husband's like, they're nice. I'm like, oh, I've had this for ages. So you don't even pay attention to the shoes that I have.
Do you know, I don't want girls to listen to this, but they're going to love this. I think they're going to love this. Like, run a business and then I go shopping for the day, the dream.
And then you have to hide it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The abuse.
Let's talk about it. So you're married.
Yeah.
I love that. How long have you been married?
I've been married for 5 years, together for 7.
Okay.
So we met unexpectedly through a mutual friend.
Okay.
He kind of just saw a picture of me. I assume liked what he saw.
Oh, on Instagram?
No, on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, this was Facebook days. And then contacted a mutual friend. He was like, I really like her. Give her my number. And I wasn't really interested in him in the beginning. He was cute, but I don't know. Maybe I wasn't really looking for a guy.
Okay.
But he wooed me.
Were you already running your brand by then?
That was when I was at the stage of my designer clothes shop. So I hadn't turned it to a nail shop yet.
Yeah.
But within like 2 months of meeting him, I was into the nailed it stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went on a first date. It was kind of cute. And you know what? He was very persistent. You have to be persistent with me because you can just slip. Not just men, I just mean in general. Like,
right.
I'm someone that like, if you don't come across too interested, I'm not going to follow you up.
It's not
I'm
by
not,
force. Yeah.
And he was very persistent and consistent and on it. And then we kind of just started dating and then we moved in together and then he done a really grand proposal actually.
Did he?
Super grand.
But it's not on the internet.
No, well, I don't know. No, it's not on the internet. But I can show you.
Show me. Okay, show me after. Show me
afterwards.
after. Okay.
So I had Joe sing to me. Do you remember? Don't wanna be a player no more. That's singing the worst. Yeah, in Novikov restaurant. We're just sitting there dining, the two of us.
Sitting there dining, and then Joe walks in singing, I don't want to be a player no more.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is this a real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was super cute. And then his mic stopped working, so he had to sing to me directly. It was
Acapella.
deep. Yeah, it was deep. And then I turned around, my husband was on one knee, and
oh God.
well, that was cute. So yeah.
Oh God, like I can imagine so many girls swooning right now, looking at their man and going,
Where's Joe?
I need Joe. Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I love that. And then I'm presuming he works outside of the house.
Yeah. So he's out of the house. He's office based.
Okay. Every day. So he
every
goes
day.
in at. Did he go in before you?
Yeah, he goes in before me. So I do the drop off to school. So he gets into work for about 8:30 and then he's home about 5:30. So
Does he do pick up?
Sometimes, yeah. So Thursdays and Fridays are his days to pick up.
Okay.
But Sophia really likes that.
Right.
A
Okay.
bit upsetting because why does she really like when I pick her up? She's like, Daddy's coming today.
Yeah. Sometimes kids
Because she says like whatever she wants to do and he'll do it. So she'll get picked up from school. She'll go, I want to go to the zoo, and he'll be like, okay then, and they'll just go to the zoo, and I'm like, no, it's not just
on a Thursday,
Friday. Yeah,
like just randomly.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So do you have a really like structured life? So you like wake up, Sophia goes to nursery, you pick her up in the evening. You have to be back at a certain time to make sure you can pick her up.
Yeah.
Right?
Or my mum helps me out. So
Okay.
like we've got like date night or I've got stuff to do.
How regularly do you have date night?
Often. Right.
Oh,
wait, hold on. We went through a stage of not having date night a lot, but recently more so, I think.
I haven't had a date. Well, I'm pregnant now. Probably we had too many
but
date
you still
nights.
have date night.
Yeah, we should not be having date nights. That's why you're pregnant. Yeah.
Forget date night.
Oh dear. Yeah, we don't do date nights as much as we should do. But I love this because it is so valuable when you have a partner who's also really supportive and like helps with a child.
Yeah.
Because it makes such a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. He's helpful and he's supportive, but you've got to understand that men, it's not necessarily they get intimidated, but it's just human nature. When you're with a partner and they're growing quite quickly, it's a little bit not random, but weird for people to as much as he's supportive, sometimes he's a bit like, it's a bit much. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, he fears that there's going to be too many salons, and you know, on the odd occasion I'll get recognised when we're out and stuff like that. So he's quite a humble guy.
Okay.
So he's not really in the limelight. He doesn't really like that kind of bit of life.
Do you ever find that there's a tension between the two of you based on like your level of success, or is he very comfortable in that? You know what, my wifey is doing what she does, and I'm supportive.
There is some tension sometimes.
This can happen.
Yeah, it can, and people need to understand that.
Yeah,
you know, I can sit here and just paint a perfect picture and be like, oh, it's great, every day's great, but that in any aspect of life, even if you're both struggling, right? Or you're both successful, or one of you is struggling, one of you says, it's just human nature. Two people together all day, every day, living together. His life is different, my life is different. It's all about understanding and communication. I think that is the key. 100%. And I think sometimes people struggle to communicate. And if you've got no communication, then you might as well have nothing. Love and trust and all that is secondary to communication, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And so is it a case of you guys had to work out, what the balance is? And I find that with me and my hubby, the tension comes around time and who's responsible for what.
Yeah.
So if he needs to go off and do his own thing, but I got to do something, so who looks after the baby? Or who's going to make the meal at night? Or laundry hasn't been done, who was responsible? It's so little things. It's little things that actually cause tensions. Yeah.
But I think that's normal.
Yeah. Amazing. And do you think a girl needs to pick a guy at the same level as her? What does level even mean, right? It could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be financial. Or do you think that it's okay for a couple to grow together?
I think it's okay for people to grow together. And I think, I can't necessarily say that people should be, both people should earn a certain amount of money and everything should be 50-50. I'm quite old school though, like, as in there's certain things that I think a man should handle, right? Obviously within reason if he's got the financial backup to do it, but there's certain things that I think, it's a man's duty to provide a home or whatever. And then I just think, if girls can hold their own, it's also good.
Curious question. My sister actually asked it. Okay. But who do you think should pay on the first date?
Is that a trick question?
Like,
obviously the boy.
Really?
But I think the boy should always pay.
Wow, this is really militant. Oh my gosh.
Hannah, what do you mean?
Every single time.
Amen. Unless it's like his birthday or something. Listen, it's food. It's a basic human right.
It's his birthday.
No. Listen, my husband would get offended if I pulled out my wallet.
Really? Yeah, okay, all right.
But that's the kind of... Listen, if he's going to pay for dinner or whatever, I might buy him a gift. I'm not saying that I'm a taker, and I'm going to order the most expensive stuff. But, you're going out for a meal. It's just a manly thing to do. Like, the waiter automatically brings the bill to the man, no?
Not all the time, not nowadays.
Do they bring it to you?
Not to me, because it clearly looks like that we're married. But sometimes you do see waiters being like, oh, who do I give it to? And also, like, there's so much online dating at this point in time that some of the guys are like 50-50. I heard about... who was telling me a horror story of a guy who... Oh, no, it was my friend Tamara. She was telling me about a guy was like, oh my gosh, I want to take you out on a date. He was begging her, took her out on a date. And he's like, this amazing place. They've got 2-for-1 on cocktails. Great. Yeah. As if it was something to be proud of. And she was like, okay. Went out on this date. His friend worked at the bar, so was able to give them a discount.
As well as the 2-for-1.
Yeah, 2-for-1 and a discount. So she said eventually the bill was like £12. And then he went 6 each to her. Look at Donna's face. And she was like, yeah, sure, here's your 6. The next day she said, I'm engaged. That she never spoke to him ever again. And he had been begging her to go on a date.
If he suggested split the bill, I'm paying the whole bill and I'm bouncing. Like, I'll even pay for his taxi home. I'll be like, bye.
You'd pay for his taxi?
That is a disrespect. He should be ashamed of himself. Why? Come on. Listen, like, if you can't afford the date, let's not go on the date.
Yeah. Let's cook at your house or something.
I don't know, something.
Or walk in the park.
You're a grown-ass man. Why can't you afford a £12 bill? Where did they even go for £12?
Well, with the discounts and the 2-for-1 on cocktails.
Oh my God. And he still split it?
Yeah.
Did he pay on card? Or did he have the £6 cash?
He probably had it set aside. I don't know. I don't know the situation. Right, so we have a section called Drop and Give Me 20. Okay. I'm going to give you some quick fire questions. Usually it's 20 questions. Sometimes it's a bit less. We'll see. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. Lord. Early starts or late nights?
Late nights.
Champagne or coffee?
Coffee.
I thought you'd be like, I'm a champagne girl.
I hate champagne. My husband always buys champagne. I'm like, it's fizzy and it's annoying and it bloats me.
Oh, gosh. The most important person in your contact list?
My sister.
My
husband. I don't know. Someone. Delete.
The fan. The most famous person in your contact list?
Famous?
I know your contact list will have someone famous there.
Okay, I've got disclaimers on some of them. Khloe Kardashian.
Woo! Like on speed dial. Hey, Chloe. Success is to you a marathon or a sprint?
Marathon.
Flowers or chocolate?
Flowers.
Mani or pedi?
Mani.
Favorite nail shape?
Coffin.
Working hard or working smart? I know the answer.
Working smart, that's my thing.
Yes. Would you rather perfect something or finish it?
Perfect or finish? Finish.
To be successful, you must
be on time.
The first thing you do when you wake up is
look at Instagram.
The hardest thing about starting a business is
coming up with an idea.
You relax by
eating chocolate.
Love that. One thing you wish you knew when you first started out that you know now?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you feel like you know a lot?
Yeah, I know it all.
You just knew. No. Okay. Learning or doing?
Doing.
A moment in life you could relive?
My wedding day.
Oh, I want to hear about this wedding day. Okay, we'll talk about it inside. Your biggest inspiration is?
Women in business.
Your best holiday, the best holiday you had?
Dubai. I'm a sucker for Dubai, so one of those.
What do you love about Dubai?
I just love it. I just think it's clean. It's really good service. Everything's 5-star. It's close enough on
Such
a flight.
A luxury girl, aren't
you? Do you like Dubai? Have you been?
I like Dubai, but I love cultural places a bit more.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. I like to slum it a little bit. Like,
do you?
I'll go to like Bali and like be a beach bum or something like that.
Oh.
Like I love that kind of thing as well. But then I also like a Dubai, 6-star service.
Amen. That's me. Cocktails, like ice.
Click for the waiter.
And then back to reality, the hustle.
I love it. If you weren't doing what you're doing, what would you be doing?
Events. I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. Like weddings, birthday parties. I love stuff like that.
Yeah,
so involved.
Your daughter's party looked like a lot of effort went into it. So I can imagine. The one thing you can't live without is?
Everyone says their phone, but I think I could live with my phone, my daughter.
Your goal in life is to?
Be happy.
The best thing about your life is?
My family.
Yeah, I love that. That was easy enough. Not too much pressure, right? I love it.
Easy. I thought you were going to hit me with some hard ones.
No, but I feel like this is a great way to get an insight into a person, like what they instantly think about certain things. Okay, so what's in my wallet is another section that we have where there's this thing that we do on YouTube called What's in My Bag. It gets a little bit personal. So we do like to talk about money on here because we're about women in business. We're about hustle. We're about like just being fantastic. And I think awareness of finance and the impact it has is very important. It won't be too intense, don't worry. So what do you, I feel like I already know some of the answers, but what do you like to spend your money on? Experiences, things, people, and is there anything that you've really loved to spend your money on?
I love gifting. You know, I get so much joy out giving someone a gift and they're really happy with it. I don't know why. It just brings me just so much happiness when they're like, if someone's really wanted something, and then you give them something. Like it was my sister's birthday. I said she wanted this bangle that had like these moving charms on it, whatever, and she didn't think I was gonna get it, and I got it, and she was so happy. She was like, "Oh my god, I love it!" Like it was so much joy. I wanted to buy 10 of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of thing I like. I'm a sucker for shoes.
Okay.
But I used to be a lot bigger. You remember, right, when you first met me? Do you remember or no? Like a lot
bigger. Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
45 kilos.
Oh wow.
That's a good 5.5 stone, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You've lost 5.5.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember you being really big. Maybe you'd already started losing weight by then.
Maybe. I don't know, but I was big. And anyway, the moral of the story is I couldn't fit into designer clothes. I had the money for it, but I couldn't fit into it. So I'd have like a boohoo dress and then like really expensive shoes. So that's why I have a wardrobe of shoes now. But now I'm like starting to buy nice clothes. But I'm a sucker for shoes. I'm a sucker for food too.
I can tell.
In a restaurant, I'm not shy to order.
What do you like? A black cod?
I do like a black cod.
I love a black cod.
I like calamari though. I like fried stuff. I like sushi. But my favourite like food is like lamb. I like lamb.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I love that. Okay. How have your thoughts about money changed since you started making money? You've been making money for quite a while, but have your thoughts changed about it?
I think I spend a little bit smarter now and I save a lot more. I think when I was younger, I didn't save.
Right.
Like, so it would come in this hand and out of that hand. So now I do save and I do invest. So once every salon makes a certain amount and we can open another salon, that's what we do. We just open another one. We'll never open another one and borrow money. So that's something that I've I've always aimed to like save enough to open another one.
How do you calculate your projections? How would you know? And maybe this might be your sister's question, because she probably is doing more of the projections. But you do have to kind of be aware that, right, I can estimate that this is gonna be able to cover the rent and the staff and whatever.
Exactly.
Was that something you had to learn how to do?
So you go on the floor space, how many manicure chairs you can fit, how many pedicure chairs you can fit, how much staff you'd have, and then each girl can earn you this much at a busiest period. This is what we estimate at a deadest period. This is what we need to make a day, a week, a year. Can we do it?
I like this. This is quite, it's not simple, but it's a really good way of thinking of it. You go into a space, you look at how big it is, how many chairs can I fit, how many staff can I fit? What about how many customers will come into this space? Do you worry or think about that?
Not necessarily, because customers come to us. We're a destination, so we don't really rely on footfall.
Right. Oh, I love that. So you are thinking about the numbers quite intensely, but it isn't as complicated as some people might think.
No, I think people complicate stuff a lot. And like, especially if you're wanting to borrow money from a bank, they ask for all this paperwork, a business plan, this, that, predictions, a landlord pack, this. And people get put off by that because they're like, I don't know. I don't know all of this. So I think sometimes things are too complicated and people give up because they can't be bothered with that part. They're artistic like me, and they just want to do the arty stuff. Do you know what I mean?
How have you found the process of building a business, especially when it comes to staff, and that there are 36 people, did you say 38 people, who rely on you for wages? Yeah. What's that pressure like?
A lot. Especially on dead, like August now is so dead because all of our locations are really affluent areas. All those people go away
on vacation.
So if their kids are off school, like private schools, you got to think, Patricia, off like 12 weeks. Those people are gone. Wow. They're having their mani-pedi at the beginning of July. You won't see them until the 1st of September. So those weeks there are dead. But however, it's very beneficial to my girls because they get to have a summer holiday. So a lot of jobs that you're in, especially like retail, a lot of the people from like Emiratis are all in the UK now. Okay. So Harrods, Selfridges, and that are doing really well. If you're in retail, you can't go on holiday now. They're not going to want you to go. They're going to want you to go in September. Yeah, for sure. So that's something that the girls really enjoy because some of them even take a whole month off. They go back home. A lot of my girls are Bulgarian like me, so they'll go back home for the whole month, and that's something I think that they're very thankful for. Yeah, and I think each business has like peaks and troughs. So for me, I'm like, no one can go away in December. I know. Unfortunately, I've told my team, like, we just can't because it's such a busy time for us. But there are times, summertime is actually quite quiet. So I'm like, have some more fun if you want to. It's right. I don't really let everyone go away a lot, but they love me for it. It's part of the job. And people have to be understanding of that. Yeah, for sure. There's times that, it will be really busy and they'll have to, like, take a much shorter break, right? But then in a month's time, your whole day is a break. Yeah, do you see what I mean? You're sitting around doing nothing, and you still get paid, and you still get to enjoy life or whatever. It's ups and downs, and I think you have to be understanding about that. I think as a business owner as well, you have to be really thoughtful of the people that work for you. Like, I almost got this thing of you have to pay them first. Yeah. Like, just make sure that they're happy, because if they're not, it actually messes up everything for you. So I try and I have wages set aside for like a year to make sure even if stuff goes wrong, at least I've got them covered for a season of time. Exactly. That's just my model anyway. What was the first thing you bought or remember doing when you made your first extra cash? The Birkin. The Birkin. And that was quite recent, that was like a year ago. Oh, really? Yeah. Which one did you get? A bright pink neon. I knew it would be pink. Custom with like grey on the inside and like brushed gold hardware. Yeah. Oh Barbie. My gosh. Very nailed it. I want to say on brand. Yeah. But that was the thing that I can say that I bought that was like when you spend a lot of money on something that doesn't really have any value. I know it sounds really bad, but like, you know what I mean? Well, Birkins are investments because actually they resell for more than you buy them for. Yeah. So I'd say that a Birkin bag is an investment. Yeah, and I do cherish it. I cherish it. I can tell you like really excited. The smile in your face is like... I was thinking about wearing it today. I was like, shall I wear it? I was like, no. I wish she brought it. We have been like the Birkin. This is the famous bag. I love that. Are you good or bad with money? Bad, I think. Okay, I love that you're honest about it. Like Theo, my sister's much better. Like she'll be like, we can't do this. We need to do this. Blah blah. My husband as well. As I'm like, oh, let's go on a holiday. Let's just have fun. Live your best life.
Yeah.
This is not a dress rehearsal. And they're like, no. This is real life. Like, it's not just your best life all day, every day.
Yeah, I would be scared. But I feel like you know that even if you lost money, you can build it back if you're going to be an opportunist in life, literally. And have the people around you changed since you started having success through your brand?
They haven't changed. I've just met new people that I've added on. But my core friends have always been the same, like, since I was young.
And have you ever had any, like, pressure when it comes to money from family or friends?
No.
Okay,
No.
I love that. Because your sister works with you. How has that been? I work with my sister as well.
I find it quite good. People say don't mix business and pleasure.
No, I need my sister.
Yeah, like, and I know she's going to be a realist with me. Like, I know, like, sometimes when I make dumb decisions, she's going to be like, that's dumb. Like, there's no filter. As, like, someone that's works for you that's not family is going to be like, oh yeah, just like clap to your song. Do you see what I mean? Because they're not on like that kind of level. Other
than yourself and your brand, are you investing in anything?
For now, no, but I have another idea that's going to be something that I'm going to look into in January.
So investing in ideas.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Is there anything that you regret using your money on?
No.
I love that. You're like, no regrets. I'm just enjoying.
Because it's all got me here. Do you see what I mean? Like, I've wasted a lot of money in, like, opening a shop, turning it around, throwing away furniture, blah blah. And if someone sits there and goes, oh, but I spent 500 on this, 1,000 on this, 100 on this, oh, I've lost all this money, I might as well just sit here and try and make this work. I could still be sitting in that secondhand designer shop selling people's old junk and making a very minimal salary. But I took the risk and I sold it all, like all the chairs and all of that kind of stuff, made a small fraction just to get rid of it. Do you see what I mean? And I think life is about risk.
Have you ever been broke? Yes. Like, have you ever been like, well, there's zero in my bank, no, shit, I'm broke?
No, that's a lie. I can't say yes. No. But I've always been like, I don't come from a wealthy family. I come from a working family. And they're very supportive of me, and like my dad has always helped me if I needed money or whatever, and I've always worked. I've never allowed myself to get to that stage
where there's a zeros in the bank account. I say that about myself. I've never been like at 0.0 just because I'm too scared to ever get all the way down there. If I see my numbers as low, I'm like, right, what 8 jobs am I going to work to bring it back up? Because I just don't like the risk of associated with that. All right, amazing. So I feel like we're going to wrap up. We'd love to have a takeaway. If there's anything you want to say, or maybe a piece of advice you have to recommend to any of the girls and guys who are listening out there, I want to hear like a summary from you.
A summary. Well, I met Richard Branson once, and he said to me, if you are too emotionally attached to your business, you will never grow, right? Ooh. Meaning, if your business relies on you to make money, you can never grow, because that is the only way you can make money is you. Do you see what I mean? And from that, I learned that I had to let go, and I had to employ people to manage salons and to teach them my knowledge and expect that for them to run that branch and that branch and that branch. And I think that was one thing that really allowed me to make changes and allow it to grow. And I think that's when it started growing, because if you're expected there Monday to Friday, 10 till 7
every day, do
you see what I mean? And one day you don't feel well and you don't go in and your takings are half, you've got an issue, because you're never going to open a second one, a third one, a fourth one. And I think with anyone that already has a business, not starting up, and they want to grow, you need to trust people, and you need to teach people your trait to make them be able to run the business for you.
Amazing. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Donna. I think you're absolutely amazing. South London girls out here killing it. And I just think that I love that you're very normal. Do you call it normal? No, you're glam normal, right? You're glam normal.
I'm realist.
Right? And you're doing amazingly. And I think that stories like yours are the ones that people need to hear a lot more, because it does give lots of inspiration. So you're inspiring, boss babe, and we love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Patricia. I appreciate it so much.
No worries. Thank you.